Okay, let's talk about that Survivor episode. My big issue in recent seasons, and it's something I have talked about throughout, I don't know how many times. I know I've talked about it several times in Survivor 50. I hate situations where a player is put in a position where they can lose their vote / earn a disadvantage and they have to play. And the thing I always try to bring up, maybe not always, but I've brought it up before, is rock draws. Because I believe the way that Jeff has explained it is drawing rocks is a punishment for not being able to reach a consensus. Essentially, it's for no one having the agency to go against the mold. You're tied, you're deadlocked, you're still deadlocked, you're talking about it, you're negotiating, and everyone is staying put. And you know the risk, you know what's about to happen, and you are still sticking with it. Okay. May the odds be in your favor. There is an argument that when a player goes on a journey, that they understand that there is a risk, that you will probably have to play, because there have been some of these where it's like, hey, you can walk away right now and not do anything and keep your vote. Or in Shipwheel Island, in the first few, where it's like, yeah, you can just say, I'm not going to risk my vote. I want to be safe because my vote's important. Now it's almost always consistently, here's what happens if you lose, but here's what happens if you win. And you kind of know that. So by volunteering to go, there's agency. But on the flip side, number one, when someone has to go on a journey, someone is being forced to be in that situation. And I guess you could argue with tribal, it's like, well, someone has to go home. It's like someone has to get the short end of the stick, but it doesn't feel quite the same. Especially when very often it can be, hey, we just had a challenge. Now the winner of the challenge, whether it's individual or a tribe, you pick someone to go on a journey. Because when I look at this episode, there's the part of me that says, Christian volunteered. He knew there, as Emily even says, she's like, look, we all know there's a risk. It's why I didn't want to go. Christian volunteered. He was happy to do it. Like, he was giddy to play rock, paper, scissors. He didn't know what he was getting into, but he knew what he was getting into, so I don't feel as much sympathy. Fair. But someone had to. And theoretically, even though Joe was like, look, I don't really care, y'all could just play rock, paper, scissors, it was like, this is like the most Joe move possible. Just super unga bunga wins a challenge, but just does not follow through strategic. And I say this as someone who genuinely likes Joe. Like, I've never met the dude, but it's like, I like this guy, but I'm like, Joe, why are you giving Christian a chance to go? You know he could get something, right? And then Ozzy's like, if Christian gets something, I'm going to be so mad at Joe. And then, I guess it worked out, but anyways. Someone could have just been picked and forced into that situation of, well, I hope I get this puzzle in time, and if I don't, something really bad is going to happen. And I really don't like that. And again, arguably, it's like, well, you do have agency. You're not just screwed. You're not just picked for a disadvantage. Christian could have solved the puzzle. Yes. But I just hate forcing someone to be in a situation where there is high risk, high reward, and they have to take the risk. It's like when you find a Beware advantage. You can just say, I don't want to mess with this because I want to keep my vote. You have the agency to look for the idol, but you have the agency to put the ding-dang thing back. And I hate when players aren't able to do that. That's not even getting into the twist itself. The one in the urn. I think the advantage part is cool. Like, it's super useful. Just like, cool, I have a vote. I can just put it on somebody. Boom. That potentially makes my plan a lot easier. The downside of there is going to be one in the urn, and it's going to be for you. That sucks. It sucks knowing you're like, I'm already at a -1, but you know what? I think that's fine. Like, here's the plus, so long as you're able to choose if you want to play or not. But I think that is like a fair, high risk, high reward. Here's what I hate about it. Number one, it's not just here's one in the urn, it's you have to cast that vote. Because the advantage wasn't you cast your vote early, it's you do this, plus you get yours. And this being, well, it's one against you, and you're losing your vote, essentially, like that. That sucks. That really sucks. Also, yeah, that means you just can't play your shot in the dark. So that sucks. Like, okay. The having to tell everybody is what broke it for me. Because everything else, I'm like, look, I hate, I've already spent like 5 minutes talking about why I hate that kind of setup. I don't like that I have to lose my vote on top of having one cast against me, functionally speaking. Telling everybody is so fucking stupid. If I were Christian, I would be just as angry. And he sold it perfectly. As Jeff even says, he's like, I can tell you're mad, but you're framing it in a way that's so genuinely funny. Because it was really funny. But I'm like, I would be seething. Because in that situation, you're basically telling everybody, hi, I'm a free target tonight. I'm already minus, like, you don't have to worry about my vote, because it's on me. There's already a vote cast against me if you just want to pile on, and because my vote's been used, I don't have a shot in the dark to play, so, free target everybody. Which, hey, if Christian had an idol, that could have worked really well. Oh, right, the idols this season can't protect you if you find them. Shout out to my girl Genevieve, who found 2 of them and couldn't use a ding-dang one. Shout out to my boy Christian, who found one and can't use it for himself. Look, I don't just want to, like, drag the celebrities and the celebrity cameos. But I'm like, man, I'm 0 for 3. But I will say, I think the Boomerang Idol is, like, a neat idea, especially in a returnee season. Of, like, yeah, like, we know that you guys know each other and that you pregame. Who do you want to give it to on the other tribe? I don't think that's a terrible idea. But the fact that it's, like, yeah, you found this and you can't even use it, like, that just sucks. Zach Brown, I just was like, this was like 20 minutes of screen time, and I don't care. Like, I'm sorry, dude. And now, like, Jimmy Fallon, you screwed over Christian. Whether this is genuinely his idea or, he was just kind of able to put his name on something, I don't know. But this just, I think, sucked. I 100% think it sucked. They're like, okay, now Mr. Beast is going to be on next week, and I know Devins is going to do everything he can to get the Super Beware advantage. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm not watching Survivor 50 for celebrity cameos. It's like, it's in the hands of the fans. Meaning the celebrity fans who want to, like, put their names on stuff. I'm here to see the players play. And I want to see them play not in spite of the twists. And that's kind of how I feel about Survivor in general when I see a lot of some of these, like the Hourglass twist, which sucks. I don't think anything will ever be worse than the Hourglass twist. I don't think this is worse than the Hourglass twist. The only thing to me that could potentially be worse is something Tony brought up in Winners at War as just like hey, that's not like a necklace nullifier, right? And I remember hearing him say that, and I just was like, please God, don't let that ever be a thing. And then like the Hourglass twist happened the next couple seasons. So in a sense, it kind of did. That I think would be the absolute worst possible fucking twist. I hate that just conceptually. But I don't know, is there anything else I would even want to say about this episode? It really is. Okay, so I'm sorry. Jeff competing in the challenge, be like, man, this is hard. Like, wait, this actually sucks. I'm bad at this. That was comedy gold. I absolutely loved the challenge. I thought that was really fun. Gosh, I really don't think I have much else to say. It's just, that's just the impression I'm left with after the episode is, man, that sucked. And it cost me one of my favorite. I'll say this, though. I will say this. As much as I hate the twists, and I think it is, like, what pushed it over the edge to get rid of Christian, Christian did a lot of the work himself tonight. Or last night, like, whatever, you know what I mean. With him pitching Ozzy to Suri, which he didn't know that they were super duper tight, because Suri's like, yeah, no one knows that. But that was bad. Him, what else did he do? Like, I know he was talking to Jonathan, and Jonathan's like, dude, I just don't trust you. And Christian didn't do himself any favors. This didn't help. I feel like I would genuinely, like, almost 100% be wrong to blame him going on this specifically. But it didn't help, and I hate it conceptually, and it got rid of someone I liked. Let me have this. But now we're left with 10, which is interesting because it's essential, because going into this episode, we had 3 trios of the Wizard of Oz, Christian, Devins, and Emily, and then Jonathan, Joe, and Steph. And then there's Aubrey and Tiff. And now we have 2 of those trios, 1 trio minus a person, and still Aubrey and Tiff. And I don't really know where they stand. Like, Aubrey was talking to Jonathan. I don't know if that's a, like, hey, I mean, you're kind of at the bottom and I don't really have anywhere to go. Let's be cool. And this is going to actually, like, be a crazy alliance that does work and they both end up in the finals. Or if this is just, yeah, they had a talk and maybe it's a thing, but nothing really comes of it. Because, like, Tiff and Aubrey, back on, like, the first swap, seemed pretty tight, but I haven't really seen them interact a whole lot. And I will say I missed the first few minutes of this episode, but, like, since the merge, I have not seen a lot of Tiff and Aubrey, like, working together. And here we saw Tiff, like, being really tight with Suri, but everyone is really tight with Suri. That's how Suri plays, it's why she's so freaking good at this game. Because you see it with Emily, Christian, Devins, seemingly now, like, Tiff. I think Joe as well. All think they're in an alliance with Suri, and that's like, okay, this is someone who's working with me, I'm talking strategy with, we're super tight. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, you're allied with me. I'm allied with Ozzy and Rizzo. And that's kind of it. Everyone else is just fuel to the fire. As Christian found out, she even said, she's like, you're like my number 3, and you went after someone higher in the pecking order, which makes a lot of sense later when she's like, oh, you know, Emily is messy. And if Emily wants to save Christian, it lets me keep Christian and cut Emily. That's great. I should do that. But it didn't end up happening. And I think part of that is like, yeah, this twist made it so easy to get Christian. You kind of might as well. Just let me check my notes. Do I have anything else to say? Oh yeah, coach modeling for the jury. That was gold. As he just like does his little twirl, like, yeah, honestly, coach, that's a great fit. Just rock it, dude. Absolutely rock it. I think I should also say, I really liked Christian's confessional after failing the puzzle, and about how it's like, you probably don't realize like how often people that are viewed as smart will just think of themselves as being stupid because of things that they mess up or things that they know they should have gotten right, but they didn't, just because of mistakes. Because we're still human at the end of the day. And like the message he gave to his son and like his final words to his son, like it was really, really sweet. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, I'm just like really bummed out. I can't even lie. So we'll see what happens next week with the Mr. Beast auction super duper advantage. Beware of it though.